welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today we're doing another episode of Quilt Bingo! Yay! It's Quilt Bingo! Today we're going to do sewing machine, or applique by sewing machine, because that was one of the skills people wanted to learn about. And as we're doing this, I'm going to talk to you. There's several different ways you can do applique by sewing machine. Now I picked one way because it's my favorite and it's fast, right? So, but there are other methods of doing this as well. So I'm gonna, as we're doing the sewing machine method, I'll explain what the other methods are. So it's just a little, it's a little easier for you. So you're gonna find the PDFs, both the beginner, the intermediate, and the hard, in our show notes below. So go quick, grab them. You might want to do all three because they're really cute. All of them are just adorable. But, okay, but before we get going too far on this Quilt Bingo, I want to do our shout out. Deb at Sewing With Debee is on our radar. Now, I cannot tell you how many times this lovely person, this lovely lady, has helped me and saved me. She's also one of the admins on our Facebook group. And I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate her and her efforts, right? So you guys go check her out. Go, give her some words of encouragement. If you like what you see over there, hit her subscribe button. And like I say, it's just amazing what kind of help and that she is offering me. That is just like, it just blows me away every time she does something for me. And she is really, really good at, doing all sorts of fun stuff. So, let's see, the next thing we're going to do, I have spent so much time with my grandkids. I have got some plague coming and I'm not sure which it is. So you have to excuse me if I'm coughing and kind of choking on stuff. But anyways, Mini Monday is coming back, a popular demand. People really didn't want Mini Monday to end. But we're going to change Mini Monday a bit. We're still going to do some foundation paper piecing. And we're going to do some small piecing. And the blocks will be smaller than 12.5-inch finished. Unfinished, I mean. Right? Because Friday will be 12.5-inch unfinished. So you at least have some uniformity there. If you wanted to follow along, you could, every 35 weeks you could put them together and make a twin quilt, right? By a 5x7 layout. But with Mini Monday, we're coming back with some changes. We're going to do a little bit of fun and maybe a little EPP, maybe a little applique too. You never know what you're going to do, right? So it's going to be fun, and we're just going to keep it very light and very happy, and just, your scraps your bigger scraps disappear, and all you're left now with is the little stuff. You need something to get rid of the little stuff. So this is going to be a perfect one for you guys to follow along on. Also, our next sew along after Quilt Bingo is going to be called Twinkle Twinkle, and I've got about 3 or 4 videos that I want to put in between Quilt Bingo and Twinkle Twinkle. And your clue for Twinkle Twinkle is save your strings. If you are anti-string, or you don't have strings, or you don't have enough strings or whatever to make a quilt, right, that's okay. You can cut pieces out of regular fabric. It works. It all works. It'll be fine. If you don't like doing strings at all, you can do that. That's fine. And if you would love to do strings, ask your other guild members for strings, or ask other quilters that you may know, because they'll probably be, here, how many bagfuls would you like of strings? But anyways, also the Zoom sew dates are in our show notes too. So it's usually the first Saturday of the month. And it is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's Mountain Standard Time because I'm in Alberta, Canada. And we just have a ball in those Zoom sew dates. So if you don't feel like sewing, or if you haven't got anything to sew that day, you want to bring your crochet, bring it. We're inclusive. It's all good. We just come hang out and sew. And we just have a great time. Also, making comments, share, like, subscribe, doing the thumbs up, hitting the button, hitting the bell, right? All of that helps our analytics and helps move our video forward. So we can continue bringing you fun-free patterns, and we're getting the word out that there's all sorts of fun-free patterns that we can do. Also, we have a Facebook group, and we have we do all the same thing other Facebook groups do. We also have a lot of community chats. We do fabric exchanges by country. We have a virtual sewing room hosted by Discord for the Facebook group members. And now you have a sew date 24/7, and you would be amazed at the people that you meet in there. It's all sorts of fun. Also, I speak for free. I am getting my second PowerPoint presentation ready, and it should be ready by December of 2025. So if you haven't, if you've booked me before, please book me again. I have another free speaking engagement for you guys to listen to, and it's about fabric scrap. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Also, you can either email me or send me a message on Facebook. Shout outs as well. If you guys have see a channel that's there and that's starting out and it's all quilting related, let me know. I'll be happy to give them a shout out as well. That list is growing pretty quickly. This is August 8th and we're already filmed out to October. So like it might take a while for them to be mentioned, but they will be mentioned. And I think that's it. Yes, come on in. We'll get to the sewing. Just go grab those PDFs in the show notes and we'll have some fun with doing machine applique. Okay, so this one is the beginner, and it's Baby Bird. Now what I did is I put heat and bond over a piece of fabric, and then I cut out my pieces without a seam allowance, because we're doing a sewing machine style with heat and bond. Now, if you're doing it with steam a seam, again, no seam allowance, even though the pattern shows for seam allowance. I'll also, if you were doing the turn method with that really light interfacing, you would need a seam allowance. So depends on which one you like the best. So anyways, what I did is I traced these out on this paper. Now there's yellow and green on the other side. So I had 3 little pieces I got to get done. Now, so what I'm going to do is I iron the fabric onto heat and bond. Actually, I picked this one out of my heat and bond crumbs, and I traced out my patterns. So now I'm just going to cut out my patterns here. Now, it doesn't matter if you put them all face up, you know, where the word is like, you know, A, B, C or whatever, or what color. I wrote color on the back. So you can see there's a letter there. There's a letter there, and then what color it was going to be, right? So I decided, okay, that's the way I'm doing this. And if you do it all one way, as you're doing these appliques, right? If you're doing it all one way, that's fine. You know, it's going to work out okay. If you do it with the face up or the writing up, it'll go one way. And if you put it with the writing down as you're tracing out on the heat and bond, it'll go the other way. Now there's other people that get into really fancy, as long as you do them all the same way, nobody's going to know. Now there's other people that get into these fancy wheels and underlighting and all this, you know, they have the screen where it's lit underneath. I don't do that, right? So anyways, now I'm just going to clip off the little tiny pieces, and this one's going back into my scraps that are heat and bond. So I can use this for an art project or, you know, make another bird beak or whatever I'm doing. Now, I don't have a problem peeling these. Some do. Some people do. I just take them and I kind of work the edge off there, just like that. And I'm going to place my eye right there, maybe. You can play around with these too, right, while you're doing this. And I want the little beak this way. Yeah, this way. And this way. Okay. And normally all you have to do is bend. Now if you're really having a hard time with heat and bond, take a pin and score it. Now I've got 2 little beaks chirping away on my bird. Now I can play with this. I can sit there, okay, I don't like this, I want this eye a little higher up. I want, you know, this a little bit further back in the head. You know, you can kind of play with these, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on a hot iron. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, blah, blah, blah. You follow the manufacturer's instructions, right? Because some people do this with double-sided interfacing, not heat and bond. Now, I let this cool just a hair, just a bit, just to make sure that I'm not gonna like burn myself or have a bunch of sticky stuff hanging off my needle or anything else like that. And I am going to turn my iron off. So now, if I left it just like that, it would stay and it would survive a few washings, right? But I want it to stay forever and ever and ever because I really like this little guy. So what I'm going to do, oh, there we go. Get that hunk of paper out of there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Now this is where you pull, if your machine does fancy stitches, this is where you pull them out. Oh my gosh. You have so much fun with the fancy stitches. Now I have got yellow thread in my top. 1, 2, 3, back. Now we're going to go around nice and slow. And we're going to stay inside the line. And that's why I got this foot on. Now the steam-a-seam people, the guys who like that as their preferred method, I mean, they make beautiful, beautiful pieces. They really do. Very complex pieces. None of it's heavy. I don't have any steam-a-seam in my sewing room, so I can't show you that method. I'm a firm believer, use up what you got. And I have heat and bond. So I have the heat and bond light. And it does make a harder block, stiffer block. But, you know, if you want something soft, the best way is your hand applique, right? I mean, that's provides some beautiful, beautiful pieces. And other people, they swear by the steam-a-seam because you only have that hard edge just at the very edge. Now, what I did is I laid the red on this block down. I laid the red down first, right? This is my foreground. So then I slipped under the green piece for the tail, right? And then I put the blue piece on top for the wing. Okay. So now what you're going to do, and there we go. You got to keep that in mind. What have you put down? Now I did the green first and I only did this edge. And then I did the blue because it's on top. And then I did the red. Now I'm doing the yellow because it doesn't touch anything really, right? So I'm just going to make this a little loose. Pull this open a bit. Just a bit. And I'm going to start right here in the center of those 2 points. And I'm going to go back. There. And I'm going to go right to the point. Almost to the point. Now I can take this extra thread on top and cut it. And nobody has to know that I have a piece joined in the back. I can take that and cut that later. And I go right out to the point again. Then flip it over. And I want to go right to the point here. And then I want to continue my line this way. Right out to the point. Basically, you make a line and you stitch along it. If you're making curved lines, this hand steers, this one creates drag, right? So that, you know, it makes it a little easier for you to go around those curves. But this is large enough, this is a large enough curved piece that it's not going to be too much problem for a beginner. Right, so here I am. But this is where you pull out all your fancy stitches. Like this machine only does straight stitches, right? So then I just take that back piece stitch and I pull it out. Now, all of the pieces here are now secured and you've got just a little lip of stuff that's not. Like even if all you did was straight stitch around it now and then embroider, you could do that too, right? I mean, it's up to you how you want to finish your applique. Some people, my favorite way of doing it is I get it stitched down, just basic like this, and then I go over it with a buttonhole stitch, like with embroidery floss, and I get like 6 strands, so it's like a really thick, heavier embroidery. And of course we can do some detailing now with the back feathers and, you know, some in the wing, right? A whole 9 yards. Make it just really cute and fun. And you might as well play with this. I might even add a, you know, if I was going to do this, I was going to maybe put a hexagon string of little hexagons in brown to make a nest. I mean, it's all up to your imagination now. So this is something you got to keep in mind. You can play with these so many different ways. I have seen people add little bows and little ribbons, and oh my God, there's so many things you can do. What was it? The Sunbonnet Susan, the overall Sams. They, you know, the overall Sams had silver lame buckets, right? Because that's what the person had, and they just wanted some fun silver bucket to be in this picture, right? So I mean, some of it's fun. You gotta have fun with these blocks, so, and you're limited by your creativity, but I gave you 3 different blocks. Now, if you're a beginner and you can get this one down, you're going, wow, that was simple. Let's try something else. Go to the next one. Try it out. Why not? I mean, I used, I had a larger piece of scrap for the red, but I mean, you know, you could do anything here. And you saw how big the piece was for the mouth and the eye, right? I mean, you could do a little dot of black in the eye now too, right? So anyways, let's get to our ta-da moment, and I'll show you what the other 2 look like. So this is our applique by Sewing Machine, and it, you know, it has come out really cute. Now, there was some questions with the last applique one we did, and what is piece A? Piece A is missing. Piece A is a square, like a 13 or a 13 and a half. I cut my 13 and a half, and then I trim, right? So I've got a little bit of wiggle room on all sides for my low volume that I'm going to sew it onto. So that's piece A, is a 13 and a half inch square, and I just got to trim them down now, all down to that magic 12 and a half, and they're perfect. So this was the beginner. This here was the intermediate, and yeah, it's just a little more few more pieces, more tinier pieces you have to maneuver, but very, very simple stuff, really. I mean, a beginner could probably do this one as well. But, you know, give it a try. Give it a try. You know, what's going to happen? You're going to have 2 pieces, and then you can use that in another block. If you really hate hand sewing, you could use your other one in that block, right? So there's no rules. You do however you want to play quilt bingo, you can. This is the harder one, and it's because there are a lot of pieces. That's the only reason why it's hard. By the time you play around with your shapes and get everything in there, it's gorgeous. So anyways, I do hope you give these ones a try. They're a lot of fun to come up with, and I hope you're enjoying this quilt bingo. Like I say, I'm going to try and make them into charity quilts when I'm done, so hopefully somebody will benefit from them, and you know, maybe put in a few extra blocks as well, maybe make a few extra quilts. So anyways, you guys take care and stay well and happy, and everything is going great for you in your sewing room, and your 1/4 inch is perfect. So have an absolutely amazing week ahead. Okay, bye. My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.